It's Sunday. The afternoon is fading. The light outside is starting to turn that particular shade of orange that you've felt 1,000 times before. You haven't done anything wrong. Nothing bad has happened. You had a good weekend. And yet something inside you is contracting. By 6 p.m., you'll feel it fully. A low, heavy sadness that doesn't quite have a name. You'll pick up your phone and put it down again. You'll feel restless, then tired, then restless again. You'll tell yourself it's because Monday is coming, but you won't fully believe it because the feeling doesn't quite match the explanation. The Germans have a word for this. They call it Sonntagsangst, Sunday anxiety. The French call it le bourdon du dimanche, the Sunday hum, like a low note that won't stop ringing. Almost every modern culture has a name for it, because almost every modern person experiences it. A 2018 survey by LinkedIn found that 80% of professionals feel anxiety or sadness on Sunday evenings. That number is higher than the percentage of people who say they like their job, which means even people who enjoy their work feel this. So it can't just be about work. For 99% of human history, this feeling didn't exist. Hunter-gatherers had no equivalent. Anthropologists who've spent decades living inside these groups have documented their emotional rhythms in detail, and the Sunday dread is simply absent. It's not in their language, it's not in their behavior, it's not in the patterns they describe to researchers. So where did this feeling come from? And what is it actually trying to tell you? Let's start with a discovery that should have changed how we think about time. In the 1960s, a chronobiologist named Franz Halberg at the University of Minnesota was studying the body's internal clocks. Everyone knew about the circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle that controls sleep and hormones. But Halberg suspected the body was running other clocks too, on different timescales. He found one. He called it the Circaseptan Rhythm, a roughly 7-day cycle. Your immune system fluctuates on a 7-day schedule. Blood pressure rises and falls. Hormone levels shift. Heart attack rates spike on certain weekdays. The body's response to organ transplants follows a 7-day pattern. Halberg documented dozens of these cycles across humans, animals, and even single-celled organisms. And here's where it gets strange. This rhythm exists independently of culture. It's not because we invented the 7-day week, it's that the 7-day week was invented because the rhythm was already there. Every major civilization in history landed on a roughly week-long cycle independently. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Chinese, the Mayans. They were all naming a pattern the body had already built. But here's what Halberg's research didn't fully address, and what later chronobiologists picked up. The circaseptan rhythm in your body is supposed to be gentle. It's supposed to ebb and flow across the week with no sharp edges. What modern life does is take that smooth wave and slam a wall into the middle of it. That wall is Sunday night. Here's what's actually happening to your nervous system across a typical week. From Monday to Friday, your cortisol stays elevated. Your sympathetic nervous system, the part that drives fight or flight, is dominant. You're alert, productive, slightly stressed, locked in. Then Friday evening hits, and over the next 48 hours, your parasympathetic system, the rest and digest side, finally gets a chance to come up. You relax. Your body lowers its guard. You sleep deeper. You feel more like yourself. And then Sunday afternoon arrives, and your body knows what's coming next. A 2020 study at the University of Pennsylvania measured cortisol levels across the week in working adults. They found that cortisol begins rising on Sunday afternoon hours before any actual work obligation. Your body starts ramping up the stress response in anticipation of a transition that hasn't happened yet. By Sunday evening, you're already biochemically braced for Monday morning. This is what's called anticipatory dread, and it's a uniquely human capacity. Your prefrontal cortex can simulate the future so vividly that your body responds to it as if it were happening now. You're not feeling Monday. You're feeling your prediction of Monday, and your nervous system can't tell the difference. But this still doesn't explain why ancient humans didn't have this. Their lives also had transitions. Hunting days, gathering days, travel days. So why did they not experience the dread? The answer is in the rhythm itself. Ancient humans didn't have weekends because they didn't need them. Their work was woven into their life. The 15 to 20 hours per week they spent on survival activities was distributed across every day, not concentrated into 5 blocks of obligation followed by 2 blocks of escape. Their nervous systems never had to brace for a 7-day cliff edge. The transitions were small and constant, not large and binary, When anthropologist James Suzman lived with the Jew Huansi in southern Africa, he documented that no day felt fundamentally different from any other. People worked when work needed doing. They rested when rest was right. There was no Sunday, because there was no Monday. The week, as we experience it, is a structure imposed on the body by industrial time, and that structure has a fault line. The fault line is the moment your autonomy ends and someone else's claim on your hours begins. This is the part that no productivity book and no self-help advice will tell you because it implicates the entire system. The Sunday feeling is not a personality flaw. It's not a sign that you need to manage your time better, or sleep better, or meditate more on Sunday morning. The Sunday feeling is your nervous system grieving the loss of self-determination. In 2015, researchers at the University of California ran a study comparing emotional states across different employment types. People who controlled their own schedules, freelancers, retirees, self-employed workers, reported significantly lower Sunday night dread than people working fixed corporate hours, even when they worked similar total hours per week, even when they earned less. The variable that mattered most was not how much they worked. It was who owned their time. This lines up with something biologists have known for decades. In stress research, the single most reliable predictor of cortisol elevation in animals is not the workload. It's the loss of control. Rats forced to run on a wheel they didn't choose develop ulcers. Rats running on the same wheel by choice do not. The body responds to imposed effort and chosen effort as if they were different chemicals. Your weekend is the only time of the week when your effort is fully chosen. Your time belongs to you. Your decisions point in the direction of your own life. And then Sunday evening comes, and you can feel it about to be taken away again. That's what the contracting feeling actually is. It's not Monday you're dreading. It's the version of yourself that briefly existed across the weekend, the version that woke up without an alarm and ate when she was hungry and read what he wanted to read. That version doesn't survive into Monday morning. The Monday version of you is smaller, more obedient, more useful to someone else. And every Sunday night, the bigger version dies a little to make room for the smaller one. This is why no amount of Sunday self-care actually fixes it. Bubble baths don't fix it. Meal prepping doesn't fix it. The feeling isn't about Sunday. The feeling is about the structure of your life. Sunday night is just the moment your body becomes aware of the structure, the way a fish becomes aware of the water when it's pulled out of it. And here's the part nobody wants to say. The reason this feeling exists is because some part of you, the part underneath all the conditioning, still remembers what it's like to own your time fully. Not on weekends, not on vacations, all the time. Your ancestors lived that life for 300,000 years. The memory of it is still inside you, encoded in the same nervous system that's contracting right now. In the LinkedIn survey, the most common phrase people used to describe the Sunday feeling wasn't dread or anxiety. It was the feeling that life is slipping away. People used variations of that phrase across cultures, across age groups, across income brackets. Life is slipping away. Not Monday, not work, life. Your body every Sunday at 6 p.m. is registering the cost of the trade modern humans made when they gave up self-directed time for the security of regular wages. Most of the week, you're too busy to feel it. Saturday, you're too relaxed to notice. But Sunday evening, in the long, slow fade from autonomy back to obligation, the trade becomes visible, and something inside you grieves it. The most honest thing you can do with the Sunday feeling is stop trying to fix it. It's not a problem. It's a signal that the structure of your life has a cost, and that cost is being paid by the part of you that knows what your time was supposed to feel like. The hunter-gatherers Suzman lived with had no word for the Sunday feeling because their lives had no fault line for it to live in. They woke up Sunday morning the same way they woke up Wednesday morning, free to choose what the day would hold. We woke up Sunday morning briefly free, and we'll wake up Monday morning to a calendar someone else built. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're not failing at adulthood. You're just one of the only species on Earth that can feel itself losing its own life in real time, every 7 days, on a schedule, in a body that was built for something else entirely.